We go.
Hello,
Hooray!
everyone. Hi, we're back with Ethical AI Tools for Smart People. And today we'll be talking about ChatGPT.
Everybody's favorite.
And so, just introducing ourselves. Hi, my name is Kayla,
Hi, I'm Dr. J. Nice
and
to
we're
meet
just
you.
gonna hop right in. We're just gonna hop right in. Nice to meet you all. So, just before we kind of go on and explore about what ChatGPT can offer as an AI tool, we just want to go over a couple issues. So, first and foremost, transparency. Out of everything, all of the different LLMs we're covering, you especially want to be transparent when it comes to ChatGPT. You want to double check in with your instructor that it's okay to use it, and very much try your best to cite things as appropriately and accurately as possible. ChatGPT definitely has some issues with that, but we'll go into that a little more later into the presentation.
Yes, and also thinking about learning objectives. So, as for all of the generative AI tools that we are talking about, make sure that the learning objective of the assignment is not the same as the reason you're using the tool. So, if you're going to use something like ChatGPT to write an essay, and the assignment of the paper is trying to make sure that you've mastered academic writing and you're using ChatGPT to do academic writing, that's not ethical. Don't do that. Even if your professor says like, I mean, if your professor is encouraging you to do that, that's a whole other thing. But like, just think about these things. Even if your professor's like, sure, use whatever. It's like, make sure that you're using it for the right reasons and that your brain is still working and you're still engaging with education. If, on the other hand, you are doing like a biology lab write-up or some other type of thing that's focused on the content mastery and what you understand of the subject, and you're using an AI tool to fix up your grammar a little bit, and your professor says it's okay, I would argue that's probably pretty ethical as long as you're engaged in the reason that you're doing the assignment, right? The learning objective has to be there.
Absolutely. All right. And then a couple of issues we're not going to go too deeply into. So, copyright issues and artistic license. Especially ChatGPT is known to be able to generate a lot of different images that you can use. So, you want to be very aware of any issues that could come up there. Environmental impact. And issue five, most importantly, the internet is made from trash. There's a
Trash.
lot of biases that go into the data sets that are being used to train these LLMs, which stands for large language models, I believe. And so just know that there's a lot of issues that can pop up here because of where the data is coming from. So you just want to be very wary.
Yeah. Be careful, guys. Things are messy out there.
Mhm. All right, so now we're just gonna hop right into um, talking about ChatGPT today, what you can use it for, so you can find sources, connect sources, you can get a general literature overview sense and similar questions that may exist in the field, and it's a great place to get started with, again, the caveats that we've been talking about. So when you start right up, you're brought to the Chat GPT screen. It does ask you to sign up if you want to just pretty much look up anything. So you're going to have to sign up for an account. It's going to ask you for your name of date of birth. So you just want to be honest, just because I think that will, or be honest to a degree you feel comfortable with, just something that somewhat depicts your age so that appropriate content can be generated depending on the types of questions you are asking. And so when you get started, you can see that over here, there's the new chat. You can search through the chats in the library. So it'll save a lot of what you're asking so that you can come back for it later, which is nice. And the version that we are using is GPT 4-4, I believe.
Free
So
version.
the free version. There is a pro version, but the free version only gets data that's been up to April of 2023. So it's unable to access the newer data, but still has a good past recollection of data sets to pull from.
On the internet, which, as we know. is made from trash.
And that's why we also want to make sure we're using the Simmons University Library. The library has access to so many different resources and can't praise it enough how many different programs you can get access to, the articles, journals, all the different types of media, and it will provide those peer-reviewed, more trustworthy sources that you can use whenever you're trying to do literature reviews or your own research.
Find a real journal article first.
Mhm, mhm. So we typed in this question, write a literature review on climate change, climate resilience, and the importance of non-STEM disciplines in a climate research and climate action with all sources cited in APA 7. We did that because that's neither of us specialize in that field. So we wanted to do something that provided a general kind of overall, all right, so we're getting into this with no prior information. Let's see what type of output can be provided to us. And so when you go ahead and hit enter, you can see here it already creates the new chat. So now that's in your library and it'll create that straight literature review that you're looking for, giving you kind of that intro summary, the different points that you're looking for. And we'll kind of go on and basically give you the whole answer, which is again, a flag we want to look for because if your job is to write the whole literature review, you don't want to use this at all and have it kind of write the entire paper that you need. Additionally, it did do a good job about the in-text citations here, and towards the end, it had all of the references that can use.
Were they
Um,
real?
that
Kayla, did
That's
they?
the other issue. That's the other issue. You have to make sure everything is
No,
real because ChatGPT has what's known as hallucinations, which can be either outdated or fabricated data that may or may not be true.
just
And
make stuff up. It just makes stuff up. Oh my God. Do not trust this.
and you can see the closest new data is this one data point right here, which is the synthesis report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. So I feel like I trust a lot of the ones that have the links a lot more because it's pointing you directly towards where everything is being found. Everything else, you want to just double check and go back to the Simmons University Library to make sure everything that is being provided does actually exist and that everything's being quoted accurately, or if there is some sort of paraphrasing, it's being cited correctly.
Information literacy, cross-check things.
Did you click on the links? Sorry, I don't want to get ahead. You go ahead.
No, we can actually go in and click on the links here.
Oh,
Here,
that's okay.
wait.
We can keep going.
I don't want to make us take too long for this one. But yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
these things are, oh, it's so sketchy. Like ChatGPT is hilarious. Keep going.
Yeah. So as we were talking about before, the free version trained on data up to April 2023. So you cannot access the real-time data unless you're getting the pro version. And when I asked ChatGPT itself, what are the issues with it, it acknowledges itself that the answers are not always true. It can be outdated, fabricate data, hold a lot of biases. So you've heard it from you've
My
heard
God,
it
so you
from the
asked it
horse's
like,
mouth.
what's the issue?
Yes,
And it's like,
yes,
I'm a liar.
yes. It was so interesting. It had little brain emojis and it said hallucinations. And so definitely kind of
Right.
want to make sure that then you're not just double checking, but honestly triple checking the informations when it comes to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Now, I can personally say that I, in the past, have not during my time at Simmons, but before I transferred, have made use of ChatGPT, and I absolutely failed that assignment. So you have to be honest. You have to know that it's not always going to be 100% correct. I honestly got maybe 33% correct, and that was because a lot of the data was either outdated or just plain incorrect.
Hmm.
And this was an assignment where there is a very much like there is one right answer type of thing. So as you can see,
Got it.
you can definitely not trust it, but it also goes to show you have to do all the work yourself. If you're not going to do that work, it's going to come back to bite you.
it's not actually. actually a short.
And so in terms of our opinions, Dr. J, did you want to go first?
It's just a little bit evil.
It is used with caution. So Simmons encourages Gemini right now. As of today, we're a Gemini school because we're a Google school, and so that helps with all of that, and it's much more secure. And Gemini works very similarly, has very similar interface to ChatGPT. But of course, ChatGPT came out first. It's the original, and so a lot of people have used it already and are used to it by now. But it's not right. But it's confident. That's one of the evil things. There's plenty of them, but one of the evil things that's most relevant here is it's very confident, but it's not accurate. And so I've heard it described, and so this is not me originally, but I would like to repeat it. It is mansplaining as a service. It will pretend to know knowledge that it does not know. As we noticed, as you know, I was chatting with Kayla, be like, are those links real? Maybe, maybe not. It makes things up. Like it absolutely makes up all sorts of crazy things. So you do have to double check every source that it pops out at you, but it's a good thing to talk to. Like if you're gonna try and if you're stuck and you're like, how do I get started on this? You could definitely talk to ChatGPT, Gemini, one of those to like get you like starting to think about things, but don't think it will give you the database connections. That's not possible.
And that's
You have
exactly why
to
you'll have
layer
to cite it
searching.
too, because it won't always tell you where you're getting the information from. So number one, you want to try and ask when you can, but also be open and cite. So if you are getting a little bit of help, um, check in with your professor and say, hey, I'm kind of stuck. See if your professor can provide any help first between that or any tutoring resources that the university has
For
plentiful
free,
of.
we have free tutoring.
Exactly. So you'd want to check in there. And then if all else fails, especially if you're a student who's off campus or just has a really full work schedule, that sort of thing, that way you've exhausted all your resources to say, hi, I just need a little bit of a push. Is it okay if I do this? If not, I'll
Yeah.
scrap what I'm doing type of situation. So just know, again, a lot of stigma, not very reliable. Um,
It's the
out
thumbs
of
down from me.
Yes, this one is the one where I would give an absolute thumbs down in terms of any ratings. I don't have a lot of faith in ChatGPT. It can be very helpful for creativity and brainstorming, but not reliability because you just don't know if it's going to give you the right answer or not, nor should you be depending on it. You want to come to the right answer yourself.
Well put. Makes sense to me.
All right, so next steps, you'll just want to take the
Oh, this is
tool
for
and make sure
Fine.
you
We didn't mean this one. This was for you won't have a generalized lit review. You
that's
will
true.
have
That's true. You're going to have
yeah.
the entire lit review. So instead, you want to make sure that you go through and put it absolutely in your own words and don't use what's being popped out because that is plagiarism.
Yeah. And double check every source.
Mhm,
Everything it says, you're gonna have to double check. So it's
mhm.
not actually an efficiency saving thing. It's a creativity generating thing, but yeah, you
Yeah.
have to see if the sources are real or not, if they're hallucinated or not, where they come from, why that like ChatGPT decided to like throw them out at you. So this next steps is don't take this verbatim here. This is leftover from a previous presentation. This was actually because we're doing the series of these presentations. So think about that. We have all sorts of cooler tools out there.
Mhm, mhm. So thank you all so much for watching.